keep the conversation going with Iowa Congressman Zach Nunn, who's a member of something called the Country Caucus. We're going to ask him about that, and the all-important House Financial Services Committee. Welcome.
Betsy, thank you so much for having me on this morning, and a compliment. I mean, there's some great places to get to serve and deploy in the world, and as noted, with my 20-year career, there's some really bad places to get deployed, and that definitely looks like one of the best you could possibly get right there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we definitely concur. So Biden, he's on the world stage, but he's slurring a lot of his words. How do you perceive such leadership or lack thereof?
Yeah, so as somebody who has worked and seen administrations that are effective and those that are ineffective, one of my big concerns here is that this isn't anything new. We've seen a Biden administration from the time I first started to work with him in evacuating folks out of Afghanistan, including U.S. citizens, and the administration was completely asleep at the switch. We ended a 20-year war where we gave more weapons to the Taliban. We ended a 20-year war where we did very little to help save Americans and the allies who were there. We saw that repeated again in places like Ukraine, where we delayed, and then allowed Russia to come in. We saw that in Israel, where Biden appeared that he was going to be able to stand with our strongest ally in the Middle East, but then completely fell short of the commitment that America has long held with its ally Israel. So this latest ability to not fight back on preventing illegal immigration, whether it's right here at our own southern border or at the G7 summit, is something I think most Americans have grown tired of and are ready for a change in this presidency.
Congressman, the talk is that you are going to be the cybersecurity point person in the House of Representatives because of all your expertise and your military background. Tell us a little bit about what you think needs to be done soon.
Well, look, I am privileged to get to serve both as an airborne officer and a cyber operations officer. We have a great team here in Congress that's addressing one of the most critical national security threats, and that's the threat coming in the cyber realm. I'm leading a bill today that is going to work directly on holding China accountable. The Communist Party is working aggressively on things like blockchain, that base storage element that could redesign our entire cyber networks across the world. America has to be a leader on it. We've got to make sure the Department of Defense and the United States don't fall victim to allowing our best and most critical weapons to fall into the hands of the Chinese, or allow the Chinese to own the actual hardware and infrastructure that drive our country. Additionally, we have seen real threats come here in the form of ransomware, cyber attacks, malicious code being injected. I've worked the Saudi Aramco events when Iran did this. We're 1,000 times worse with what the Chinese could do today if left unchecked in the cyber arena.
And I'd love to just follow up and ask him not only the threats to our military cybersecurity, but talk to us a little bit about in the private sector. I know that the CEO of Microsoft testified before Congress yesterday about this.
Betsy, you're absolutely right. I think this is really a public-private partnership. And one of the things that we're doing, including two bills we're getting into the National Defense Authorization Act we're voting on this week, is to make sure that we're really harnessing what's already available in the private space when it comes to cutting-edge innovation and bring that alongside our national defense. And we're doing this by pairing with partners like Israel, like Taiwan, who are already leading in certain areas that the United States could actually gain advantage from. It's important that we realize our allies aren't just somebody that we help in their time of need, but they're helping us in our time of need as well. And the cybersecurity threat posed by Russia, China, Iran, North Korea collectively are a threat to the entire world. And it's not just defense. It's our private sector. It's our small businesses. It's my hometowns in Iowa. But it's also that key innovation that's being produced only in America. Could you have this type of creative thought that materializes itself into cutting-edge technologies that drive our economy forward and protect our country and our individual citizens' privacy?
Well, as we talk about the military, you're an active member of the U.S. Air Force, recently promoted to colonel. Congratulations. Talk to us about that honor.
Well, first of all, anytime you get promoted, it's really a reflection of the team that you've helped build around you. I am honored to serve with airmen, with guardians, with military members throughout my long history here, but really it's my family. They're the ones that helped get us through. There's my daughter pinning on my 06 Colonel's board. Look, I'm really thrilled with the opportunity to get to serve my country, to have the patriotism the service before self attitude that I learned in the military through many combat tours, whether they were in the Middle East or flying operations off the coast of Russia or operations off of China. But that's imbued in me a certain responsibility. One, to be clear-eyed about mission accomplishment. And that means what I've taken to Congress is the same I've done in my military service. Being able to put country before self, my constituents are the ones who are now my team, and my mission is making sure they get the absolute best care, best accomplishment we can provide here in Congress. So it's a new deployment, my friends, but we are very committed to delivering in the same way we did with our military career to be able to help folks right here on the home front.
It's very special because at one time, many members of Congress had military backgrounds. Now, there are so few of you. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, candidly, we need more military members serving in Congress today from all walks of life. I'm very privileged to work with a group called the Four-Country Caucus. These are Republicans and Democrats in both the House and the Senate who are working dedicatedly to move legislation forward. We've had some great wins. My first bill that I passed, signed into law, was to help military members bring new family members in. We've got adopted and previously foster kids. This is a great opportunity for military members to get the same respect there. We've fought hard. We're leading a bill today to fight veteran suicide. 22 veterans die every day as a result of coming back from usually combat zones and dying by suicide. This is something that has to be tackled. I'm proud to be a leader on it. We've worked with folks on both sides of the aisle here. But what's really important here is that military mentality, it was so great after the greatest generation served in World War II, including my grandfather, has now started to move on. And the people that I look to as both mentors, partners, and fighters for this country are my fellow members who have served in uniform, that we can move forward on real solutions for this country. Look, less than 2% are serving in the military or in Congress that have been in the military. That number continues to go down. I'm privileged to still be in the reserves. I think there's only 80 members in Congress who fit that bill that have served and are continuing to serve while still being deployed to Washington, working in Congress for the American people.
Congressman Nunn, it's a real honor to have you on today. Congratulations on your promotion. And let's have you back to talk about suicide in the military. We must address that issue. Thank you.
It's a battle we have to win. Team, thank you so much and appreciate your service as well.
You got it.